without any further delay, there has been significant delay already, and for which I apologize, Bean. But this guy, I have such immense respect, but leave me out of it. The industry of broadcasting has awarded him with pretty much every decoration and award an industry can decorate and award somebody with. He's Bean Baxter, everybody. Come on, Bean.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, from Kevin and Bean.
How late are we running here? Are you getting to me 10 minutes late now, according to the schedule? What's going on here?
What is the story, Albert? I mean, really, it is your fault, Albert.
Whoever is producing this thing has no idea what they're doing.
How did we get so late? Because of the mystery?
Because of Josh, I think, yeah.
Because of Josh, yeah.
But I love Josh, and I love listening to Josh, and that sounds like a fantastic Dateline. I'm so excited about that.
You should know Bean is a friend of Josh as well, so we all kind of, it's one of these days where everybody, the stars align. But yeah, that's how we got so late. But we've got plenty of time with you because I'm blowing everything else out until the bottom of the hour.
Well, good, because I have so many comments of what I've been seeing on the show here today.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to start with your comments, then we'll get to Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, just like when I've joined you on the radio before, I always bring topics. You know that. Okay. First of all, I'm dying to know. I haven't heard you guys discuss this much. Kim has been doing a great job of keeping us updated with the Gwyneth trial, but I want to know what your thoughts are, Mark, as a guy who has seen 100 celebrity trials in your long, illustrious broadcasting career. Does it help or does it hurt the celebrity to be a famous person in the courtroom in a case like this that is going to boil down essentially to a he said, she said?
Yeah, this is a really good question. I think that given the fact that you can see even, and you saw this in the Amber Heard trial with Johnny Depp, you see how they turn down their look. They want to turn down the red carpet celebrity part of their profile and crank up the I'm just like you normal person profile. So that must mean that based on history, you want to be as everyman as possible. So I would say on balance, probably being a celebrity hurts you a little bit. Don't you think, Bean?
I think so too. And you're right. Gwyneth doesn't show up in an evening gown carrying her Oscar, but there are going to be people. Is it a jury or a judge trial? I don't even know. I think it's a jury trial, right?
It is.
Who are going to look at her and go, oh, she's a rich, famous white lady. I'm going to defer to Joe Q Public here in this case. And I wonder if in that case, if being a celebrity actually hurts you in terms of trying to get a fair, even balanced trial.
Yeah. I mean, I think being a celebrity and being hugely wealthy helps you in every part of society, but maybe this one. You're right.
Maybe this one, right?
There she is, and she's got like a 70s glasses look going there. It's sort of like she could be on the Rockford Files with that look. You know what I mean?
Do you believe her when she says that this gentleman skied into her, or do you believe the gentleman who says the reverse?
Oh, that's a great question.
Have you thought about who you think is telling the truth? Oh, Kim's going to weigh in here. What do you think, Kim?
What do you think, Kim?
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Is it like an automobile accident where whoever rear ends you is at fault? Right?
Yeah.
Because they were driving too close. Because he hit the back of her. His skis went in between her legs. She says she feels this body on the back of her. And she's like, somebody's, trying to cop a feel. I don't know what's happening.
Well, that's what she says.
But could she have
has
skied
just
in
the
front of
opposite
him,
story.
though? Is it his fault if she skied in front of him and he had no choice because she came out of nowhere right in his path? That's what we're trying to decide, I think.
I mean, how do you put your skis in between someone's legs? If you ski right in front of them, you would have to hit them like a T-bone head on, right?
Yeah,
so
interesting.
It just seems to me that the way in which the accident happened, I don't think he's going to win it. Just because of the way it happened, because of the way that he hit her backside.
Does the jury know that she is only suing for $1 is another question I have, because that would, I think, work in her favor, that it would make, look, I'm just here because I believe in justice.
Well, and first he sued for $3 million and then he lowered it to $300,000. So it was like, was this guy out for money or what? Right.
Yeah. Soon it's just going to be
my bad. I'm sorry.
All right. Should have never brought it. Yeah.
Interesting take. Thank you, Kim. All right. Item number 2, Mark.
Yes,
I've talked about this on my podcast too, and I'm serious about this, and I'd be curious to hear yours and Kim's reaction to this.
What's the name of your podcast, Bean? Just to kind of give you a
cup
little
of
bump.
tea and a chat. If folks want to
give you a Mark Thompson show bump, a cup of tea and a chat. Okay,
it's on Patreon, and it's not worth it. Don't even forget about it. Okay, but here's the question I have for you.
Bean. Go ahead.
Is the former guy calls her Stormy Horseface Daniels, right? Which is terrible. I hate everything about it. But I also hate this that I see in almost every media outlet. Every single time that case that's being discussed in New York is brought up, she is referred to by her occupation, adult film star Stormy Daniels. My question to you, Mark, is how is that relevant at all to the story?
Well,
if she were a paralegal, if she were a landscaper, would every mention of Stormy Daniels also include paralegal Stormy Daniels, landscapers? I say no. I say it's only there to make the article clickbait and more salacious. It's not relevant.
I think you're right. Certainly you're right about its relevance. But if you look at, and I think you're right that it's clickbaity, but if you actually look at other media reports and as when they refer to people, sometimes they will refer to media tycoon Sumner Redstone, you know, a former CBS boss, Les Moonves. They will tack on the person's profession, and her stated profession is as a pornographic actress. So to that extent, I think it's sort of forgivable. I'm not, that doesn't in any way deny your first 2 points, which seem solid, you know.
Yeah, it just bugs me every time. I feel like they're only doing it because they're casting shade on what she does for a living, as if somehow
Let's
this makes
Kim,
it
because
worse.
Kim,
okay,
Kim, you'll cast the deciding vote.
I feel like it's relevant, Bean. I have to say it's relevant, and here's why: because it's an affair, because she's a sex worker, because she was paid for sex. It goes to the relevance of the case that she sells sex for a living. So the fact that he likely had sex with her and paid her for it is, you know, I mean, I think it seems to let it, you know, it's relevant to state such.
I think it's just an attempt to make the affair seem scummy.
I think it's that, but both can be true, though, Bean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
both can be true. It's a legit way, and it makes the affair, you know, a little sexy. John said they don't call Trump former president. They actually do say former President Trump.
I call him every time I call him former president.
Right.
But I do, because he is the former president, and it, you know.
Oh, they don't call him John. I see. Meaning he's a John.
He's a John.
I'm sorry. I understand.
Well, but the more his name is put in connection with, you know, adult film star Stormy Daniels, the more embarrassing it is, or should be, I would think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, but to Kim's point, Bean, I think you're right. They're trying to smear it further. They're trying to embarrass him further by calling an adult film. So, but again, all these things can be true. You can both embarrass him further. You can make it more clickbaity. But this is also typically, I think, the way people are referred to by their, you know, by their.
All right.
Former,
one more topic, and that
job.
is the shooter in Nashville that Kim has brought us news of is a 28-year-old woman. How long has it been, Mark, since we've seen a mass shooter who is a woman? How long?
No, it's almost exclusively the area of men. That's right.
It's the most shocking detail of this story to me.
Yeah.
I just can't get my head around it.
We'll get more details on her, but yeah, you're right. Just the gender alone is something that distinguishes it. It's a major distinguishing feature.
Very busy news day here today on the Mark Thompson Show.
It
and
really
may I
is.
just say
Thank you.
this, by the way, and I know I've told you this privately, I'm so proud of you and your team and what you're putting out here every day. It's an outstanding show. I try to watch a little bit anyway, every single day. I think you're doing fantastic work. How are you doing in terms of corralling your former KGO audience to know that the shop is open and that you're available for business?
That's been the biggest challenge because we didn't have a chance. We had to just go off the air suddenly. And a lot of those people don't know we're here. You know, a lot of those people aren't used to watching YouTube. To you, it's no big deal. But to my audience, a lot of whom were just, you know, passive radio listeners, just passing through KGO, and even some of them dedicated KGO listeners, they're not used to watching things on YouTube. So it's much harder.
So unless they follow you on social media, there's no way for them to even get the word out. There's no advertising.
Yeah, I mean, Kim, I think, maybe blasts occasionally on Facebook. I don't know. I'm not really on Facebook much. Facebook is where many of them may be. So if we were really aggressive in the Facebook, I'm having trouble just kind of getting all the variables together for keeping the show on YouTube and, you know, trying to smooth out certain areas and trying to boost Patreon participation, your Patreon as well, I know. And you know, just trying to make payroll, it's tricky. But what I'm trying to say is some kind of Facebook spend where you advertise for your show, where your audience might be, is probably a smart thing. We just haven't quite had the resources to do it yet.
I've been doing my show 2.5 years, and we still have the same conversation. We still haven't pulled the trigger on that. We probably need to. I'm sure there are people out there who used to listen to Allie and me, my podcast partner, on the radio, who just have no idea that our show exists. So it's just a question.
I mean, what's great about you is you have I think just more of a social media reach than I do. You were on the air, were dominant for so long. So it's cool that you've been able to corral a lot of people. I mean, I don't know if it's obviously it's not everyone, but I love that you've been able to. When you fire a flare, I think more people see it maybe than when I do. But,
well, I'm very grateful for that. I've had an audience that's followed me for a long time. By the way, do you love what I put under my name here on the screen? You're allowed to put your company or whatever you want to promote.
Yeah, knows the truth about Mark. It's true, but the truth is all so flattering and impressive, Bean. I'd be happy for you to spill the tea.
And the truth about Mark, and I'm here to say it, he's even more handsome in person, ladies.
Yes,
I know you're looking at
everybody?
him and go, how is it possible he's that good looking?
How is it possible he could be on TV? Look at how white I look. I mean, it's unbelievable, and I can't do anything. And then I'm starting to realize maybe I am that white. Maybe I am that chalk white. It's just
you are a very white dude, but maybe being a weatherman for so long, maybe you know that you shouldn't be spending any time out there in the sun. Is the whiter you are, the longer you'll live without cancer.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
So you're happy.
Bean, tell us about Taylor Swift. Did you go to the concert?
I haven't been to the concert yet. I have tickets. I was among the lucky few who was able to get tickets. I won't see her until later in the summer. All right, here's what I have to say about the conversation you were having about Ticketmaster. Yeah, they're honked up. It is a monopoly, them and Live Nation, and they charge all those fees because they can. And it's horrendous, and somebody needs to step in and do something, right? I mean, the fact that they charge you $2.50 to print out a ticket on your own printer with your own paper and your own ink is a perfect example of how it's just out of control, right?
Yeah.
But I do think, having said all that and agreeing with everyone on Ticketmaster, it's a supply and demand problem when it comes to a tour like Taylor Swift's. The people who were able to get tickets aren't that mad at Ticketmaster right now. It's the vast majority of people who weren't able to buy tickets to the show because the desire so outstrips the available tickets. She's doing 52 stadiums, okay? And that is not, she could do 10 times that many and wouldn't sell tickets to everyone who wants to go see Taylor Swift. It really is a supply and demand situation for the most part, I think.
Of course, you're right. That's what animates the anger. And by the way, Albert, it might be nice if we could just organize a picture of Taylor Swift while Jean is, there you go.
Boom, there she is.
Jean Baxter is talking. There she is. And by the way, just on her, she is a mega talent who is connected to her fans in ways. I think it's unprecedented the way she's connected to her fans. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think she came up at the right age and the right maturity of the internet to have that connection where she really did personally interact with thousands and thousands and thousands of fans who are now stands for life. And she has just continued to always have a wonderful social media presence. And she does so many things. I mean, she's an artist who invites fans to her home for an unveiling of the new album, for instance. There was a story just in the news last week. She sent tickets to a little girl who had a serious burn 5 years ago, was involved in an accident where she was burned. Taylor had visited her in the hospital 5 years ago, Mark, and said, I know what you're going through right now, but one day you're going to get out of this hospital after all of your skin grafts, and I'm going to let you come to one of my concerts and see you again. 5 years go by. Those tickets arrive at that little girl's house. She was 8 at the time of the accident, 13 now. Tickets out of nowhere arrive from Taylor Swift saying, hey, I'm in your town this weekend. Please come see me.
Wow.
That's the type
That's
of connection
a great story
that she has with her fans is just amazing. And I want to say this.
Can I just say this? Yeah, please. You say you want to say, and I want to say, your want to say takes a precedence over my want to say. Go ahead.
I know that there are people, I can't read the chat right now, but I'm sure that there are many of your listeners who gloss over hearing any news about Taylor Swift because they think she's just a vacuous teen pop star. First of all, she's 33 years old. She's had a 17-year career. She's won 3 Album of the Year Grammys. She sold 120 million records. She's, as you pointed out, the biggest artist in the world today. And having said all of that, and even on top of the 52 sold-out stadiums this summer in America, I still think somehow she's underrated, Mark. I still think not enough people appreciate her as an artist of the century right now. What she's doing now is like what a Joni Mitchell did in her day, or to use her namesake as an example, James Taylor, except in some ways it's even different because she has changed genres so much, starting off as a teen country star, turning into a pop star, then turning into more of an electronic star with her album 1989, and then blowing everyone away during the pandemic with those dual acoustic albums, The Folklore and The Evermore. The kind of songwriting, her songwriting just keeps evolving. She just keeps getting better and better. Most pop acts, as you know, they come out and they're hot for 5 years, 10 years, and then they're on the decline. Then they're playing their greatest hits at the county fair. She continues to get better and better and better. I don't think there's any limit to what we're going to see from her. She's really, really special.
She has well exceeded the arc of a normal pop star, as you've said. Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. And this gets to my point. She really is talented as a songwriter and performer. I mean, she has it all, you know. And somebody else points out in the chat, Beyonce's like her has a lot of those same qualities. I think that's probably a fair comparison.
She's the closest to Taylor. She's a one of a kind artist of her own in her own lane, and she's brilliant. Absolutely, I think they are the Twin Titans. Yeah,
these are pictures from her first concert from the Eras tour in Las Vegas, which happened just a couple of days ago.
Beautiful.
So these are shots taken there.
And she's also performing at these shows, being for like close to 4 hours or some incredible number.
The opening night in Glendale, Arizona was 3 hours and 12 minutes. She did 44 songs. Now, she's got a lot of material she's never performed live because she is so prolific. Since her last tour, she's put out 4 albums and then 2 re-records of her albums with additional songs too. So she has dozens of songs she's never played. So people were trying to figure out, how is she possibly going to put a set list together? Because she has all these previous hits, plus all these new songs we all want to see live. Well, she just decided the answer is to do them all.
That's just
44 songs.
Normally they medley it somehow, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's prolific's a ding word, by the way.
I know you're gonna kick me off, but I put on this shirt just for this conversation today, so I want to stand up so everybody can see.
It's a cat shirt, which I applaud.
Not just a cat. This is Taylor Swift's cat, Meredith. That's who I'm wearing on my shirt here today. She's got Meredith Grey. She's got Olivia Benson, and then she's got Benjamin Button. Those are her 3 cats, and this is her first and oldest cat. This is little Meredith, and I love wearing this.
I love that you know this.
Well, what was your last cat lady,
quickly as we wrap up?
Yes.
Taylor Swift among your crushes. You have met her because you were on K-Rock, right? I mean,
I have declined every opportunity to meet her. I do not want to meet her.
Oh, wow.
Because my relationship with her as just a fan is perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. And by all accounts, anyone who's ever met Taylor says she's the sweetest person in the world, and no one has ever had a bad experience meeting her, but I just don't want to do it, honestly. And I don't have a crush on Taylor either, by the way.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't. It's interesting. People always assume because I'm an older man and she's an attractive young woman that somehow this must be a crush situation. I'm in awe of her talent. I love her the way I love Jackson Brown. That's how I feel about her. I just love her as an artist. I know that sounds dorky, but that's how I feel about Taylor.
No, it doesn't sound dorky at all. It sounds quite respectable, in fact. I was trying to think of crushes you have had and celebrated on the radio when you had Kevin and Bean. And I want to say...
There's somebody always comes along. You know, there's always someone who's hot at the moment.
The model. Who was the model you were waiting
Tyra Banks. I was very into Tyra Banks.
Oh my God. You go to Bean's house and you have like these, you know, this is the dining room. You'd have these things like dolls that would be Tyra Banks.
All right. We don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that, Mark.
I mean, he's married. His wife is there too, just to be clear, for those who don't know. But I'm just saying. Hey, Bean, I want you to come back. I want you to be a regular.
No, that's not possible.
We can tell stories of the old station. We both worked at the same radio station right as we were starting our career. It was a suburban Washington, D.C. station. And there's some
happiest times of my life, Mark. Happiest times of my life.
Simpler times. But how many times have you won the Marconi Award?
I don't like to keep track. The number isn't important, Mark.
All I'm saying is I didn't think you could win it more than once. You have. So that's how good Bean is. Yeah.
No, you're very kind, and I enjoy the opportunity to talk to you, whether it's on or off mic. So thank you for inviting me. But I just have to say, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. I can see how much work it shows on the screen. It shows on the content that you're delivering every day. I don't like it enough to contribute to the Patreon. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to do that. But I will support you in my own way by occasionally tuning in and watching for free. That's what I'll do.
Wow, that really is...
you get nothing.
Right. We love our Bean. Come visit again.
Thank you. I'd be happy to. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good times. Bean Baxter, everybody. How cool is he?
He's really cool.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.